Well, my name is Howard Martin. I'm the Executive Vice President of Heartmath and co-author of a book called The Heartmath Solution. My specialty is an exploration of heart, from the physical to the emotional to the spiritual. Yeah, my name is Howard Martin. I'm the Executive Vice President of Heartmath and co-author of a book called The Heartmath Solution. And my specialty is really an exploration of heart, from the physical to the emotional to the spiritual. Well, I'm originally from the South. I live in Northern California now, but I lived my early life in North Carolina and Virginia. And I love that area of the country. I don't get to go there much at all anymore. Matter of fact, I fly over it. I've been there once to North Carolina in the last 20 years. Once I left there, I left, and I've been all over the world since, but not there very much. I miss parts of the South, the genuineness of the people, the sort of the general respect that they have for one another, some of the foods and things like that. But where I live in in Northern California is amazing. I live in a town outside of Santa Cruz called Boulder Creek. It's in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It's a beautiful mountain setting where the redwood forests grow. And it's close to major metropolitan areas like Silicon Valley and San Francisco, and airports are accessible and all those kind of things. But I live in this idyllic, beautiful environment, but yet I have access to all the things that I need to do in regards to my business, etc. What I'm talking about here at the Festival of Enlightenment is activating the heart's intelligence. When I describe that, I lay out what heart intelligence really is. Then I bring in scientific research. One of the hallmarks of Heartmath is that we underpin everything we do with scientific research. So I show some really compelling and interesting information about the heart being certainly more than a blood pump, a central information processing center in the body that both sends and receives information. And then I take that application into an understanding of its importance right now during these changing times as we go through a period of accelerated change where we're making choices that are extremely important for the future of our own fulfillment and the world itself. And then I get into the nuts and bolts of that, which is really about taking the intelligence of the heart and using it to regulate emotion, which to me is the next frontier in human evolution. It's where we sort of translate the experience of life into what it really is and how we really create our own lives, especially through what we feel and through our emotions. And I offer a series of techniques to help people understand how to utilize the power of the heart in ways in which they can regulate emotion and resulting in higher performance, greater health, and ultimately more fulfillment. One of the things we're doing at Heartmath today is we've been doing this 21 years now, so it's a long time, and we work in many areas of society, multinational corporations, healthcare institutions, government agencies, U.S. military, educational systems, etc. So we've worked it very bottom up in a way, and trying to provide information, tools, methods, and even technology to help people through these changing times. But today we also have a project called the Global Coherence Initiative. And this is a project that's uniting many thousands of people all around the world in heart-focused care and intention to use that heart-focused care to influence society in positive ways and help make it easier for people as they go through the shift. There are thousands of groups doing something similar. Our contribution to this is science. We've developed technology that measures subtle changes in the Earth's energetic fields, geomagnetic field and ionosphere. And we are placing sensor sites around the world, building a ground-based system to be able to really study and monitor changes in these fields. The purpose of the system is to test a hypothesis, and that is that mass human emotion, whether positive or negative, has an influence on these fields. And so we are doing some very advanced scientific research that we hope will end up resulting in showing that all of our thoughts, our prayers, our intentions, our meditations, all the things that we do have an energetic relationship with the Earth itself, and that we as a global society can influence these fields in ways that have a positive social impact, and that all of us can do this, whether in our own homes or wherever we are, that what we do counts, and that we are making a difference through what we feel and what we think and what we put out to each other. The Earth is a living system, and it produces energetic fields. And two of the primary ones are the geomagnetic field, which is created by the spinning of the iron core at the center of the Earth. It's what a magnet measures. It's the field that you see aurora borealis when solar radiation hits the field, etc. There's also another field that radiates and encompasses the Earth just above the atmosphere. It goes up into space. It's called the ionosphere, a very plasma-like field, a very sensitive field. These two fields protect us. If we didn't have them, we would die. They're part of the Earth, again, as a living system. And they protect us from incoming solar radiation, cosmic rays, and things like that. The science on these fields is in-depth in some ways and unknown in others. And what influences these fields? That's a good question. And we know, though, there are a lot of, sort of astrological things that affect it. They go through fluctuations all the time relative to what the sun does, etc. We think that we influence them. We know we have a relationship between those fields. That's been proven already, and there's more research ongoing. Some of the same frequencies, for example, that are in the ionosphere are produced by the brain and heart in human beings. We know that changes in these fields have been linked to changes in social behavior. Everything from health to terrorism has been linked to changes in these fields. So if those fields influence us, it kind of makes sense that we can influence those fields. So that's what we're going to try to prove through the Global Coherence Initiative. And so I think it's a major step forward. We'll not only contribute to the academic literature about the fields themselves, but if we can prove this, we can prove the interactions between what we think and what we feel as human beings and the Earth as a living system, and build that link to show the interconnectivity of all things. I think it would be a big step forward in understanding consciousness, and it'll certainly give a lot of hope and inspiration to people that aspire to improve themselves and to be more conscious. Yeah, we definitely can change the future. The shift is bigger than us. We are just beings operating on the surface of a planet, and the shift is about the planet itself. It's about the solar system. It's about the galaxy. It's about a lot of things. We are contributors in that, and we do have the ability to co-create within the context of things. So we are influencers, and we will dictate some of what happens. The facilitation that we can get is being dictated by what we can actually draw. Some of the fundamental things about how we function relative to things like ecological needs and all that, they're all part of the choices that we're making, and we do have influence over the future. What I believe is this. I'll put it in both pragmatic and an optimistic tone. Pragmatically speaking, look, we got some challenges, and we have to go through some hard times over these next years to meet these challenges. And so it's going to be some rocky road there, and it's not going to get easier for anybody. And we all have to step up now and be the best we can be in the process of this. The optimistic side is that the change is going to happen anyway, whether we like it or not. It's moving in that direction. There will be a new world, and it will function differently. It'll be a better world than the one we live in today. People ask me in media interviews, what do you think the shift's going to be like? And I have a really great answer for that. My answer is, I don't know. And the reason I don't know is I don't think we have seen anything like this ever before. The best we can do is to sort of project what we have now with better clothes on it. We put new clothes on what we can see. It'd be like someone sitting on a horse and buggy in the late 1800s and somebody says, did you know there's new transportation coming along? And the person there, the best they can probably do is to visualize a better horse or a better buggy, but they can't see the airline industry. And I think that's where we are in regards to the shift, is that we are moving into something that we've never had before. And there'll be a world in front of us that is going to be completely different than the one we live in. And it will be a better world. And that's where we're moving to. So that's the optimistic side, but pragmatically speaking, we've got some work to do.